Read them anyway. You've seen the headlines. Record heat. Species disappearing. Oceans rising. And somehow it still doesn't feel real, because nobody told you the full story. These 4 non-fiction books read like thrillers. Except everything in them actually happened, or is already happening right now. No dragons. No made-up dystopia. Just the real world, written so well it will keep you up at night. Let's get into it. The Uninhabitable Earth by David Wallace-Wells. This book opens with 4 words: "It is worse than you think," and it means it. Wallace-Wells takes climate change and maps it out chapter by chapter, not as a distant future problem, but as something actively unfolding right now. Heat death. Hunger. Drowning. Wildfire. Unbreathable air. Dying oceans. Each chapter is its own catastrophe, each one backed by hard data written in the kind of propulsive, terrifying prose you'd expect from the best crime thriller. The Guardian called it the most terrifying book they had ever read. It became a New York Times bestseller and reignited the entire conversation around climate literature. This isn't doom for doom's sake. It's the most complete picture of what's already happening that most people have never seen written down so clearly. Start here. The Sixth Extinction, Elizabeth Kolbert published 2014, won the Pulitzer Prize. We are the asteroid, odd, almost scientific tone. This is the Pulitzer Prize one, give it weight. Pictory. Coral reefs, extinct animals, museum fossils, scientists in the field. The Sixth Extinction by Elizabeth Kolbert. 5 times in Earth's history, something has wiped out the majority of life on this planet. An ice age. A volcanic event. An asteroid. Each time, a mass extinction. Elizabeth Kolbert's Pulitzer Prize-winning book argues that we are currently living through the 6th one. Except this time, there is no asteroid. There is no natural disaster. The cause is us. Human activity is driving species to extinction at a rate hundreds of times faster than the natural background rate. What makes this read like a thriller is Kolbert's structure. She investigates each extinction crisis like a detective working a case. She travels to coral reefs, rainforests and ice caps. She follows scientists. She presents evidence. And by the final chapter the verdict is inescapable. We are the asteroid. Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. After 2 books that will genuinely frighten you, this one is the reason to keep going. Kimmerer is a botanist and a member of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. This book weaves together indigenous plant knowledge and Western science into something that reads less like nonfiction and more like poetry. She argues that the natural world is not a resource to be managed. It is a community of beings we belong to. In 2026, this book is still circulating on Book Talk because people keep coming back to it when the climate anxiety gets too loud. It doesn't pretend the crisis isn't real. It just offers a different relationship with the world we're trying to save. It's the most beautiful thing on this entire list. Read it slowly. Silent Spring by Rachel Carson. Published in 1962. And somehow, still one of the most urgent books you can read in 2026. Carson documented how DDT and chemical pesticides were silently wiping out entire bird populations across America. The title refers to a spring with no birdsong, because the birds were all dead. The chemical industry tried to destroy her. Called her hysterical. Called her unscientific. The book was published anyway and directly led to the creation of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the banning of DDT. One woman. One book. An entire government policy change. This is what nonfiction can do when it's written with enough precision and enough rage. It is the origin of everything on this list. 4 books. 4 different ways to understand the same crisis. One woman's rage that changed a law. A detective investigation into extinction. A map of every disaster already unfolding. And a botanist who remembered that the Earth is not ours to lose. Nonfiction is having a moment right now, because the real world is the most compelling story being told. These 4 books are where you start. Drop in the comments, have you read any of these? Which one hit you the hardest? Like and subscribe. See you next time.